We are the foundation, bulletproof the hating. From the plantation, we built the whole nation. We are the foundation, bulletproof the hating. From the plantation, we built the whole nation. We are the foundation, bulletproof the hating. From the plantation, we built the whole nation. We are the foundation, bulletproof the hating. From the plantation, we built the whole nation.
He did it again, y'all. He did it again. It even been 2 weeks since Umar Johnson was on the GREGG MARCEL DIXON podcast spewing that Tether jargon about reparations. He did it again. Fair use. Roll the footage.
But let me give you one reason why I do not support slave lineage-based reparations. I support race-based reparations. Let me give you one nugget. We have 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents, 32 great-great-great-grandparents, 64 great-great-great-great-grandparents. Are you aware? I want you to understand, overstand, and understand me. Are you aware that there are white people in America who have an African ancestor who served on the plantation? I said, are you aware that there are millions of white people in America who had an ancestor who served on a slave plantation? I said, are you aware that there are millions of white people in America who have an African ancestor who served on the plantation? Let me give you an example. There's a white person whose great-great-great-great-grandfather raped his great-great-great-great-grandmother. There's a white person whose great-great-great-great-grandfather, who was white, raped his great-great-great-great-grandmother. The product of that rape was a black woman who was extremely fairly complected. Post-slavery, because that family ended up being able to pass for white, they passed for white. They amalgamated into white society. They integrated into white society. They lived their life as white, but they are the great-great-grandchild of an enslaved African woman. So lineage-based reparations, which is ridiculous to identify your lineage with slavery, but slave lineage-based reparation says, if you are the descendant of an American slave, you can get paid. If you are the descendant of an American slave, you can get paid. You didn't say if you are African, you can get paid. You said you don't support race-based reparations. You support lineage-based reparations. So since you don't support race-based reparations, you support lineage-based reparations. So you don't believe, you believe you can get reparations for your ancestry. You don't have to be black. You believe you can get reparations for your ancestry. You don't have to be black. You believe you can get reparations for your ancestry. You don't have to be black. So here's my question. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when millions of white people come forward claiming to be American descendants of slaves? They don't claim to be African. They don't identify as African. And you don't require them to be African. You only require that they be a descendant of a slave. So let me tell you what you fools have just done. Let me tell you what you fools have just done. Let me tell you what you fools have just done. By disqualifying race-based reparations and by supporting lineage-based reparations, you reject the African immigrant. You disqualify the African immigrant from reparations, but you automatically qualify millions of white people for reparations. I hope you're listening to me right now. I hope you are understanding, overstanding, and understanding my message. That's why we Pan-Africanists don't get caught up in this YouTube reparations jargon. We Pan-Africanists are too politically mature and intellectually astute to get caught up in this YouTubian reparations conversation. You hate African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants so much, you will do anything to shut them out of reparations. They are only 3 million in number. They are only 3 million in number. They are only 3 million in number, but you disqualify race-based so they don't get no money. You go to lineage-based reparations, slave lineage that is. Ridiculous, but nonetheless, you go to slave lineage-based reparations. So now because it's lineage and not race. Now because it's lineage and not race. Now because it's lineage and not race, white people can now qualify for reparations. You have at least 25 million white folks who say they can prove they had an ancestor on the plantation and they have the records to prove it. You have over 25 million white people in the United States who say they can prove they had an African ancestor on the plantation. So you disqualify 3 million African immigrants from getting reparations by throwing out race-based reparations, and now you qualify 8 times that number of white people. Now you qualify 8 times as many white people. Now you qualify 8 times as many white people to get the reparations. To get the reparations. I don't care what you call yourself. There has to be a rule in and rule out protocol for who qualifies. There has to be a rule in and rule out protocol for who qualifies. You said it is based on lineage. So since it's based on lineage, white people with an African ancestor can get reparations. And if you don't currently feel that they can, I promise you that they will.
He did it again. He went full retard.
Never go full retard.
You heard the man, Umar Johnson. Never go full retard. Now, before I start, YouTube, this is not hate speech. I am simply doing a rebuttal to a YouTube video. Now, Umar Johnson, I don't understand why you and all these other Pan-Africanists have comprehension problems. You talking about the millions of 25 million white people who have a black slave ancestor in the South can qualify for reparations. No, Riri. The requirements are you have to have had identified for at least the past 10 years as black. And I doubt 25 million white people in the United States classify themselves as black for the past 10 years, Umar Johnson. So what are you talking about? And what's all this race-based reparations you talking about, Umar? Umar, I thought you was intelligent. race-based reparations are unconstitutional and illegal in the United States, Umar. You cannot give people reparations based on race. That's why it has to be lineage. The reparations that Native Americans received are not based on race. They're based on lineage. Tribal lineage. It's not based on race because Native American is not even a race. Native Americans come in different racial types, from the Red Indian to the Black Aboriginal Native American. Did you know that, Dr. Umar? Native American reparations are based on lineage, not race. That's how we're doing our reparations, based on lineage. Dr. Umar, you delusional Pan-Africanist. Nobody that's foundational Black American is hating on Black immigrants and paving the way for white people to get reparations, because white people do not qualify for reparations in the United States. And neither do Black immigrants. Dr. Umar, why do you and the rest of these Pan-Africanists try to tether Black people from other countries into our reparations? Dr. Umar, the Africans and Caribbeans have their own reparations claim. It's called CARICOM. And guess who they don't include in it? Foundational Black Americans, yeah. Well, we're supposed to include them in ours. And if you want to get technical, we have a claim to that CARICOM claim, because we were slaves under the British too, Dr. Umar. You want to go there? Black immigrants do not qualify. We're tired of telling your Pan-Africanists, your delusional Pan-Africanists this. Black immigrants do not qualify for reparations from the United States of America. Their ancestors did not serve as slaves on United States soil, Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar, the more you talk, the more you sound delusional. And the more people stop following you, Dr. Umar. Go look at your comments under the video you posted. Everybody in your comments is telling you you're semi-retarded. They're all telling you you're wrong, Dr. Umar. The United States of America does not owe every Black person on the planet Earth reparations. That's simply retarded, sir. And it's not Black Americans' job to make sure every other Black person on the planet eats. That's not our job. Who told you that? We got our own problems. And there's no other group helping us, but we're supposed to help everybody else. Make that make sense, Pan-Africanists. Dr. Umar, you need to get it out of your head that everybody with dark skin on planet Earth is one big tribe. That's not factual, and it's not real. It's not reality, Dr. Umar. And stop calling everybody African. All Black people are not African, Dr. Umar, nor can you prove it. Our foundational Black American lineage claim shall remain lineage-based. But we know why you go so hard against lineage-based reparations, Dr. Umar. Because your lineage goes back to Cuba. Which means you don't qualify. FBA is here to stay, and so is our lineage-based reparations claim. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Channel Raw TV. And we just gave it to Dr. Umar and all the delusional Pan-Africanists raw. Wow.
Don't forget to subscribe. Channel Raw TV, baby.